to see that.
The Springvale defence closely, and they really grimace. They really want to be a part of this.
Phil MAYLIN with the tackler, Tony Pastori, but they...
Well, the ball got hit once and Pastori's belly button got hit. I think it was 3-1, the final result.
Clark over as is. Smith gathers. Doing well in the middle. McTaggart goes down. Tagging hand pass from Caples to Maloney. Advantage played as there's a bit of a brawl on behind field. Well, been between two if you can have that. Robinson in trouble. Ackley a high one. Back to where the players were scuffling a moment ago. They're back with their minds on the job. Fisted away. Loose ball Maloney. Centering kick. Out in front of Dempster. Got a break of a couple of metres on height. Hand pass a bad one. Intercepted by Howlett.
Well, that's a very good mark from Gould, because he had to change direction, stop in the slop and mark it. His kick not so good though. Caples, beautiful kick. Coop. Oh, that is 50. Unlucky, really, Gould.
Yes. Most unfortunate.
They both lost their footing and cannoned into one another, and that's going to be a certain goal for Springvale. Let's
Good
watch.
vision here by Caples. Good delivery.
Now just watch here. Oh, maybe it wasn't so. The replay might have told the story. He dropped his shoulder, so that's very undisciplined play.
Gee, in these conditions too, Peter, I mean, the player Coop, they had no chance of kicking the goal, and it virtually becomes a certainty. And as Sam said, with goals at a premium today, don't look to be as desperate.
Exactly, and they've got the greater incentive. I can't...
Springvale got the first major of the quarter.
Yes, and you'll find that missed kick into the arms of Kanarakis, who's been a fine half forward for Springvale.
He's given Ackley some problems, Sam, hasn't he?
Yes, my word. And that was a fine goal. Got them on the road. Williamstown promptly replied. This is an intelligent piece of play. Kick off the ground by Minot. Quick hand pass by Aziz, and the knock on by Pastori into the arms of Greg Minot, who kicked the equaliser. And then it was just all Springvale from here on in. Coop Maloney's just had a blinder of the first quarter. Kicked the ball long, and here we see Robinson using his body well, out positioning Lloyd.
One or two thrown during the quarter, Philip.
There certainly were, Peter. In the competition club.
The highlights for the quarter.
Getting the ball forward.
Yes, and I thought in the opening minutes when Minot goaled, not in the opening minutes, but when Minot goaled, there we saw Dempster goal.
He got his straight after the Minot goal.
It was a quick reply. I thought the Minot goal might have sparked Williamstown into a bit of action, but it was promptly replied. And that man on screen, Jeffs, has been, instrumental in keeping Williamstown well and truly subdued. The big guy, Clark's been absolutely sensational. We see height there. Take a fine mark.
Too, Springvale playing the three talls on the forward line. Clark,
talls,
Nicol and Robinson and Dempster, all on the forward line.
You're right, but by comparison to the Williamstown talls, there's a fine left foot goal. But by comparison to the Williamstown talls, in particular Williams and Height, they do have greater recovery, Phil, and they're quite agile for big men.
And also, Sam, in these conditions, they don't have to jump for the ball so much. The player a little bit smaller is jumping all the time.
The story doesn't. They've been very conscious of the men, playing the man as opposed to making the ball the object at all costs.
Free kick going to McTaggart against Coop. No one in a great hurry to get the ball back to him. Another upset. Adelaide defeating Carlton by 7 points at Princes Park. It's all over here. Bill Stubbs, and you might have picked who might be the player of the match.
Yes, some people say that it's payback time a square off time for the grand final, but no, terrific game, Phil. Congratulations, you have to be very pleased.
Yes,
we'll get the formalities over with. Bill Stubbs from Wards Express.
Thanks very much, Russ. Phil, well done today on a fine game. Man of the match for Wards Express, and well done to Springvale today on a great game.
Thank you very much.
And the keys to the match, Phil. Pop them in there, you'll dirty them cup. Well, do you think after that performance you a chance for the five? The boys are saying you've got a reasonably easy run home, week by week, of course, but do you think you can make it?
Yeah, well, it's certainly not an easy run home. The way we've been playing, you would call the bottom sides a chance of beating us. The last 3 weeks, I thought that we've been struggling, and certainly our backs were right against the wall this week. And it's not until that happens that I think that a side that's been successful over a long period of time can finally realise that maybe it is slipping from their grasp. And to their credit, they came out today, and I thought that was the best 4 quarters of footy for the year for us.
Terrific. And key players for you today. Simon Clark was terrific, wasn't he?
Look, he was great. Our whole back line played tremendously well, and our game is all set upon our backs playing well. They were able to contain the forwards, and not only that, but also run on well, which set up the play down the ground for us.
There was quite a bit of feeling in the game too, as usual, I suppose, against a game like that.
You know, I think up to half-time it was, you know, we dominated play pretty well, and I knew that Willie were going to come out and try to unsettle us. I mean, that was the only chance they had at that stage. But to our credit, we kept our eyes right on the ball.
Terrific, Phil. I'm sure it was an easier interview than it would have been after the grand final.
Much easier. Thanks, mate.
Phil MAYLIN, our